I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So we got more mini camp news. I'm gonna break down the 53 projected man roster. Hopefully this makes sense. Let's see how accurate they can be, correct? But not only that, turns out JJ McCarthy has a cannon for an arm, has a cannon for an arm. We have to break that down as well. Now the 53-man roster, as a fan, you kind of have your idea of who you think will make the cut, make the real 53-man roster. We know right now it's a battle. It's just the beginning. The time is now. Training camp will tell all. Preseason will tell all, right? And it is what it is. But who will be the young guys to who you think that has a guarantee to make the roster, right? Which rookie should make the roster, not only make the roster, but stand out, correct? Period. Which second year vet, third year vet, fourth year vet, will have a breakout season, et cetera, et cetera. All questions that have to be asked. But when we're talking about the roster, I'm sure the Vikings will put players in the best position. So will be no question, no doubt who deserves to make the cut and who doesn't. Bottom line, point blank, period. That's part of the business, correct? The NFL business round yonder. But the best players will be on the field. I guarantee that. Once again, year four of the regime, I guarantee Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi know exactly what they're looking for. They are prepared to make the separation when needed. You hear me, homie? And it's always tough to cut a player, but we know what it is. You know? So Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, it's not their first rodeo. They understand the process of the program. Period. And it's time to make the tough decisions. But training camp, who gonna put up or shut up? It's some interesting battles, homie. Heavy, you hear me? Between rookie players trying to make the roster, veteran players, 1 year, 2 year. Some guys will get cut, period. It will be rookies come in and force a veteran to be cut. It is what it is, part of the game. Come in and compete. Leave it all on the field. They know what it is. They know what they signed up for. Correct? Bottom line, no way around it. It just comes down to deciding, seeing who makes the final cut, baby. Who's really about it, fool. Yeah. And JJ McCarthy does have a cannon. One of the big questions for some reason was his arm strength. For me, it was more about his arm accuracy or being inaccurate at times. But at the end of the day, you could have a little questions about his arm strength, but you see him play Bama and in the playoff, he can let the ball fly even when under pressure, even when falling back. You go back and watch the game. He made some big throws, elite throws. Got to give him that, especially late in the game for the last game, tying and drive. So the talent is there. And the more and more I research and watch this guy, listen to him speak, observe him in the interviews, right? It'll be super dope to observe him in practice out there in Egan around yonder. But one day, huh? Heavy, dog. Period. But JJ McCarthy, the fact he has a cannon, he's already ahead of the game. That's the biggest thing. Cannon, have an arm. If you have a powerful arm, a cannon similar to a Josh Allen type, you already have a major advantage, dog. Everything else will come together. In the NFL, can you get the ball there quickly and swiftly? Do you have a great arm power? That's the separation. That's the separation as far as elite quarterbacks, non-elite. The elite also have accuracy with their power, though, right? Some people love to compare him to Josh Allen already. So now we know it's evident, it's clear he officially has a crazy arm. Power is no question. Just like Josh Allen, you got to calm it down, calm it down as well. A lot of things come with that powerful arm. You may take more chances, take more risk because you feel like you can fit it in there. He has to understand this is the NFL. It's not college. The seconds are different. You have a second less time, period. If that, homie, you have small windows and you have to attack them swiftly or they close fast. The windows close fast in the NFL, correct? A whole new ball game, baby. So you got to calm that arm down. Like we've seen Josh Allen have to be calmed down, period. He's made some dumb throws, dog, trying to force it in, some bonehead throws, but you see him getting better, becoming more patient. And he's going into year, 4 or 5 plus? How long he been in the league? 4 or 5 plus years, correct? Heavy, homie. And he's still learning, still growing. But JJ McCarthy is ahead of the game as far as his arm power. That's where you need to start. KOC saw that, I'm sure. Everything else, KOC can put it into place, put it in play, work it out, deal with it, you know? And news is JJ McCarthy's looking good, looking very good. He was looking good last year, early OTAs, training camp, preseason, till he got hurt. That was it. Separation hurt. He was on his way to probably being the starter, period. Know what I'm saying? But it worked out good. Now he really learns from it. Got all the mental reps he needs. Now we got to put the physical with it. And I'm sure he will. Matter of fact, I guarantee he will. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But KOC will calm that arm down. Help him understand when to put a little touch on it, little boop. You don't got to force every throw. Every throwing got to be hard, correct? Hard, etc. But he's going to learn. He's going to learn it from the flow of the game, the touch of the ball, how to read the field. KOC has everything he needs. It will be a master display. It will be a master display that we are about to see from McCarthy and KOC in the Vikings offense this year and years beyond. It's going to continue to grow and get better. Man, come on, bro. Period. But that's the biggest challenge, will be the biggest challenge for him. Controlling that arm, taming that arm at times when he needs to, but also understanding, having the comfort of knowing he can let it fly, let it rip at any given time, baby. So tougher throws can be made, right? He can trust his arm a little more, unlike let's say Kirk Cousins, not really a lot of arm power. He mostly depends on accuracy, being an accurate thrower, accurate passer. He almost has to. You know, he can't wiggle around. He has no room for mistakes. A guy with a powerful arm, a cannon, can afford to force some throws in, be a little late because the ball will get there faster, And McCarthy has that. McCarthy has that. That gives me even more confidence in him. People saying how powerful his arm really is, you know, and not just guys talking, guys, they're observers, they're seeing it up close and personal, heavy, getting a 4-1-1, the inside scoop. So the fact his arm is a cannon, half your problems done. Period. Just like speed, size, right? You can't teach, you can't coach. To a certain extent, a powerful arm. That's something you have or don't have, baby, and every player doesn't have it. Period. And majority of the elite quarterbacks who have came through the NFL, especially the greats, had accuracy combined with having a strong ass arm. And McCarthy has that. That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear, baby. Period. Yeah, bottom line. This dude could be really elite this year. I'm talking this year. For real. So let's get into these articles, dog. Make sure you fire them comments up. Feedback is much appreciated, man. Big SKOL here. SKOL Vikes won't lose a draw forever. Believe that. You know? First thing, let's break this roster down. Get into this mini camp. You know, Corsten's Minnesota Vikings post mini camp 53-man roster projection. Now, a lot of people have projections they will make. We will see projections coming from all types of Vikings media, right? Creators, et cetera, homie. No one really knows yet. Now, you have a certain idea. You have guys who are pretty much solidified in their roles, right? Oh, come on now. But it could be sleepers, underdogs, just needing that one chance and ready to take advantage of it, bro. No cap, you hear me? No cap, dog. For real. Let's take stock of where we think the Vikings roster currently stands after OTAs and minicamp. This is Will Raggets, See what Raggets has to say, dog. Let's get it. Vikings OTAs and minicamp are in the books, and the team is off for around 6 weeks until season preparations kick into high gear with the start of the training camp in late July. And with that being said, they have rest, 6 weeks off. 6 weeks, don't get in trouble. Not just towards Jordan Addison, but to everybody, homie. The rookies, the vets, older vets, younger vets. Stay out of trouble. Stay your ass in the house, my boy. No need for a party. No need to linger through the night. Get your ass in the house and stay in the house, bro. Work, eat, sleep, football, working on your craft. Forget a party. Forget a friend, dog. Forget a relationship. You hear me, dog? Period. Forget a liquor, a drug, a ride, a joyride, dog, a concert. Forget all that. Goes for everybody, homie, top to bottom. Coaches as well, bro. We seen the things that happened last year, last off season. Let's zone in, learn from it, baby. Learn from it. You know, I'm not saying be scared to have fun, enjoy your life, but at the end of the day, make it about football round yonder. Period. Do what you got to do, but football, the main focus, bro. Leisure BS, that should be out of your system. It's over with. It's whack. Done data finito, bro. Zone in on the game, on the year, on the season coming up, bro. Period. Bottom line. Heavy, man. This will be an educated guess that incorporates what I saw in several recent practices open to the media. Keep in mind that things will change over the course of training camp and preseason action, but this is how I see it as of this very moment. Quarterbacks, 3. McCarthy, given Sam Howell, Brett Ripien, out Max Brosmer. Back Max Brosmer. Last I heard about Max Brosmer, he was performing well. So does Will Raggett really know what he's talking about? Does he understand what he's saying? Yeah, last I heard, Max Brosmer was performing great, looking good as far as a rookie, right? So how do we know he won't take Brett Ripien's spot? Unless this guy knows the inside scoop, right? Been seeing it on the field, heavy identifying players, then how does he really know? But at the end of the day, these are all assumptions, right? Assumptions, baby. The only quarterback competitions taking place in training camp will be for the backup and QB3 roles. Ooh, gotta sneeze. Hold up. McCarthy is entrenched as the starter and will obviously be the top Viking storyline all summer and fall long. I think the status quo will be Howell at QB2 and Ripien behind him. But the Vikings have been impressed with Brosmer, and they'll want to keep him around on the practice squad if he doesn't make the 53. Here we go, running backs and fullback, 4. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, CJ Ham, Ty Chandler, out, Xavier Scott, Trey Stewart. And pretty much the roster you expected, you would assume it to be, right? Now, if one of these guys just does something spectacular, shows up, shows out, but this is the set running back. And I'm cool with this running back room. I'm satiated with this running back room. A lot of talent, right? We know CJ Hammond fullback, no worries. There doesn't seem to be much that needs to be determined here. Maybe Scott or Stewart can push Chandler for his roster spot, but I'd be surprised. Hey, Cam Akers just signed with the Saints, so perhaps the Vikings will trade for him for a 3rd consecutive year. And like I say, the running back room probably solidified. Wide receivers, 6. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, Ty Felton, rookie, Tim Jones, Rondale Moore. Out, Jashawn Jones. Now, Jashawn Jones is a player. He was undrafted last year, getting another chance this year. Vikings re-signed him, but like I say, he might just not make the cut. Salias Bolden, rookie. Lucky Jackson, Thayer Thomas, Dante Fleming, rookie. Robert Lewis, rookie. Miles Price, rookie. So I'm sure a lot of UADFAs that will get cut, undrafted players who will be released. But it's always a sleeper, so let's not forget that. But that wide receiver room looking good, baby. Looking real good, huh? You hear me? Justin Jefferson, we know who he is, what he is, the best. Jordan Addison, a real 1A breakout season coming. Jalen Naylor gained some weight the offseason, got jacked, still keeping his speed, keeping his quickness and agility. Hopefully he has improved on his catching. Ty Felton, rookie. It's going to be very interesting who wins that number 3 position. I think they both will be competing for that number 3 starting role. But whoever it is, I'm comfortable with it, and I'm sure the best man will earn it. Tim Jones, Rondale Moore. We know who Rondale Moore is. The question for him is, can he stay healthy? Tim Jones, don't know too much about him. But at the end of the day, the wide receiving room core is stacked, in my opinion. A lot of talent in that room. Here we go. I wanted to get Jashawn Jones and maybe Bolden onto this roster if I could, but the competition is just too stiff at the wide receiver spot. I'd say there are 4 locks here, including the 3rd-round rookie, Felton. Tim Jones seems likely to make it as the Trent Sherfield replacement who has experience and can block. And then Moore, assuming he's healthy, he's the Brandon Powell replacement as a gadget player who can maybe do some returning on special teams. We know Rondell Moore, speed demon, speed guy. Ty Felton, speed demon, speed guy. Stretch the field, etc., etc. And like I say, don't be shocked if Ty Felton really makes some noise in training camp, baby. Period. But Jashawn has a chance to play his way into Tim's spot, and Bolden's upside as a returner means more spot is no guarantee. And nobody's safe, homie. Nobody's safe, period, homie. You can truly only say a few players are safe in their roles with their roster situation. But everybody else, free game, fair ball, man, period. They can have a spot. Boom, it could be gone just like that with the snap of a finger, quickly and swiftly, baby. It's time to bring your A game, huh? It's time to bring your A game, homie, period. Let's get it. Guys like Jackson and Thomas could continue to stick around on the practice squad if they can hold off the undrafted rookies. Even the practice squad, you got to fight for that. Tight ends, 3. TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, Galvin Bartholomew, rookie. Other tight ends, Ben Yorsek, Brian Nesbitt, Giovanni Ritchie probably will be gone, not shocked. Gavin Bartholomew, look for him to get some reps, some tick. Look for him to develop. 2-3 years in, he could be a big problem. He would be ahead of the curve if he contributed at a high level this year. He definitely would be ahead of the game. No one expects it, but you never know. Expect the unexpected, correct? For the time being, I've still got Bartholomew winning the tight end 3rd job, given that he was drafted, but he was offside rehabbing an injury during the offseason program, while both Yursek and Nebsit were making plays in 7-on-7 action. See, injuries, baby, injuries. You're not playing. His spot definitely is a guarantee. Now, he should have the spot if he's on the field, but if you're not available, if his injury is a question all through training camp, he really gets no tick, no reps all preseason either. And you got Yursek or Nesbitt who ball out, put on a great show. Even Giovanni Ritchie, guys step up. His spot could be taken, period. So whatever's going on with him, he needs to get through that rehab, dog. Get through that rehab and be available. All training camp, period, man. Offensive lineman, 9. Christian Darrisaw, Brian O'Neill, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, Donovan Jackson, Blake Brandell, Justin School, Walter Rousey, Michael Juergens. All names you expected. Out, Logan Brown, Joe Hubbard, Henry Bird, Marcellus Johnson, Leroy Watson, Zeke Correll, Vashawn Lee. Most of these names you don't know. But that a much improved, much aligned offensive lineman, bro, especially in the trenches. KOC knew what they needed to do. Him and Kwesi saw it clear, and they went and handled that business, right? Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, new addition. Donovan Jackson looking crazy out there, looking like a man amongst men already. Very similar to Christian Darrisaw, but Donovan Jackson probably more ahead of the curve, ahead of the game. Looking like a great draft pick. Here we go, man. We got to read all that. We know what it is. Defensive lineman, 6. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, Harrison Phillips, Jalen Redmond, Tyrion Ingram, Dawkins, Taki Tamani. Pay attention to that name, Taki Tamani. I feel like he could be a problem animal. He's still growing into his body, and he's a big dude. Tyrion Ingram, Dawkins, rookie, a lot of upside, a lot of potential. Still has yet to grow into his body. Very elite specimen. Period. Has the potential to be great, has the body frame, has the work ethic. Just got to put it all together. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave. You know the scoop on them. Harrison Phillips, Jalen Redmond. A solid trenches, man. Just keep getting better, period. Keep getting better. Levi Drake Rodriguez, you kind of dislike to see him go. You like his motor, like his attitude, his personality. But at the end of the day, we talking about who the best player around yonder. They probably keep him on the practice squad, but if he doesn't make the cut, he just doesn't make the cut, homie. Outside linebackers, 5. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, Gabriel Murphy, Bo Richter. Yeah. Out, Tyler Batty, Chaz Chambliss, 2 rookies. Once again, outside linebacker core stacked. Dallas Turner looking better, so it's even more stacked. Gabriel Murphy, Bo Richter, you expect them to be better, bigger, better, stronger, faster, etc. Gabriel Murphy, elite, exquisite pass rusher. Bo Richter, flash last preseason, homie, heavy, huh? You hear me, dog? Both of these guys coming off 1 year, being 1 year in, right? Who ain't no telling what they will do, how they will perform, homie. Period. One of them could be sleepers. You talk about depth. Depth, that's what it's about. The Vikings have built their depth, homie. Period, huh? Heavy. Linebackers 4, Blake Cashman, Ivan Pace Jr., Eric Wilson, Kobe King. Let's get it, bro. Out, Brian Asamoah, Max Tooley, Austin Keys, Dorian Massey, Blake Cashman, Ivan Pace. They got Eric Wilson knocking Brian Asamoah out of there. You know, I think it's going to be a battle between him and Asamoah. It's definitely a battle between Kobe King and Asamoah, but they have Kobe King winning the battle. And why wouldn't he? Kobe King, being realistic, if he is really a steal, he's probably coming in already better than Brian Asamoah at majority of things as far as the linebacker position is concerned. So I give Kobe King that spot. Eric Wilson, a true vet, played for the Packers, but last year, now he's back home. Yeah. So we're going to see, bro. I think Brian Asamoah still has a chance, and he definitely will be a practice squad guy, but in order for him to make the cut, he got to beat out either Eric Wilson or Kobe King, in my opinion. Yeah, heavy. Got to see what he can do, though. Got to see what he can do. Wilson is clearly making the roster as the number 3 linebacker, given his experience and his special teams value. That likely leaves one spot up for grabs between Asamoah, the 6th-round rookie King, and a few other potential challengers. I think it'll go to King, who has upside as a downhill thumper, and in a Brian Flores defense. Asamoah has been useful on special teams during his rookie contract, but not to the point where he isn't replaceable. Facts. And Kobe King just gives you more right now, man. Yeah, younger, more of a weapon, more of a specimen, more upside. It is what it is. Simple call. Unless he just shits the bed, wets the bed during training camp, it should be solidified. I'm excited to see him play. Speed, physicality, agility, field recognition, sideline speed. I'm here for it, dog. Let's get it. Safeties. Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, Theo Jackson, Jay Ward. Very excited about this safety group. You know, Theo Jackson will finally get his opportunity to show what he's about. Jay Ward has talent. He can fill in, understands the system, understands the game, baby. Let's get it. Harrison Smith, true vet. Metellus, we know who he is. Weapon X, Mr. Versatile himself. And that's what it is. Let's get it, man. The Vikings only have 5 safeties on their current roster after cutting Bubba Bolden the other day. Ward, who is entering his 3rd season, is likely still safe for now unless Powell really impresses. Masao Powell, yeah, rookies. I'm assuming he's undrafted. You can always show up, show out. You can always take somebody's spot. No one's safe. You hear me? For real, dog. Really, no one is safe here. Jay Ward, especially not safe, baby. These 3, actually, I take that back. Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, Theo Jackson are probably safe. Like I say, unless he just balls out, unless this dude is a steal, a rarity. He just breaks everybody down, dominates, shows out, balls out way more than Theo Jackson and Jay Ward. Then, okay, you have a real battle, a real question. But at the end of the day, I say Theo Jackson, Josh Metellus, Harrison Smith are solidified. Cornerback room. Isn't it funny how quickly the cornerback room looks strong now? Everybody was talking about it, disrespecting it, saying it's the Vikings' weakest link. Now you look at the roster and ask, do the Vikings have a weak link on the team as far as roster? Every team has a weakness, but they're looking strong in all positions, baby. Heavy. Byron Murphy Jr., Isaiah Rodgers, Mekhi Blackman, Jeff Okudah, Taverier Thomas, the white McLaughlin. You know, if they can add one more name, maybe Jalen Ramsey or what's his name, Jair Alexander, that would be lovely. That would be the icing on the cake. But I'm excited about the white McLaughlin, Jeff Okudah, Mekhi Blackman, talent everywhere, dog, all over the cornerback room, homie. I'm telling you, I really was tempted to go bold and put Vaughn on the roster. Zamaya Vaughn, rookie. That would be great if he can play ball. The undrafted rookie corner was one of the standouts of the offseason program, making numerous plays in 7-on-7 action. His length is really intriguing, but I still think McLaughlin, who Vikings coaches have talked up since last offseason, deserved the spinal fat for the time being. Thomas seems likely to make it as a backup nickel and key special teams player. Stewart, Thomas, and Halasi have all played in NFL games and shouldn't be counted out. So I guess he thinks there'll be a practice squad, backup guys, depending on how many they keep. Special teams aces, maybe. We got the special team specialist, Will Reichert, Ryan Wright, Andrew DePaula. Andrew DePaula, Pro Bowl long snapper every year. Out Oscar Chapman. And Will Reichert, we know the leg is crazy. Roll Tide full of pride. His big question is just let him rest, let him stay healthy, dog. He kicked a lot. He kicked a lot right off the back, right off the rip last year. So I'm glad he's been able to rest his leg, heal 1,000%, and I'm excited about Will Reichert. You know the leg power. We recognize the leg power. That's no question. Can he stay available? Bottom line. Chapman will get a chance to beat out Wright in training camp, but the incumbent is certainly the favorite. Yeah, Ryan Wright, you got to do a lot to beat out him, right? You got to do a lot to beat out Ryan Wright. Talk about a true weapon in special teams. It is what it is. Heavy. And that's it for the roster breakdown, homie. That's it for the roster breakdown. Let's go ahead and hop to the next one. The JJ McCarthy article. Let's hear about his arm strength, his arm power that cannot be denied. Let's give me 1 second, man. 5 things we know about Vikings QB JJ McCarthy. Let's see if they're right. Kevin Seifert, once again, it seems like Kevin Seifert loves to put his pen and pad on the Vikings. Seems like he's really observing the Minnesota Vikings. Now, is he there in person? If you know, let me know. Is he taking these notes as he watches practice? Or is this something he's been getting, someone's telling him, relaying the message to him? Let me know. Fire them comments up, homie. Eagan, Minnesota. The world has no shortage of options on Minnesota Vikings quarterback JJ McCarthy. Is he ready to lead the Vikings to Super Bowl in February? It's not hard to find someone willing to say yes. Is he too weak armed and small stature to be a long-term starter? Term starter. That assessment has floated around the national media as well. This range of potential outcomes makes sense for a quarterback who missed his rookie season with the torn right meniscus and has neither played nor practiced during an NFL regular season. What McCarthy has done, however, is build up an inventory of offseason throws, decisions, mistakes, successes, and growth moments. It's been awesome, McCarthy said, because they really pushed the limits on just what I can handle. And that's what I asked for. I'd rather sweat in training and limit the bleeding on the battlefield when we get there. Oh, great quote. Great quote to relay, dog. Period, dog. Let's get it. I love his mind. I love his mind. Heavy, you hear me? Over the 14 months since the Vikings made him the number 10 pick in the 2024 NFL draft, McCarthy has participated in 18 days of training camp, 15 OTAs, 3 days of rookie minicamp, 6 days of veteran minicamp, and 1 preseason game. That body of work is big enough to make some informed judgments, at least for those who have witnessed them. With 33 days remaining until McCarthy and the rest of the Vikings quarterbacks report to training camp, here are 5 offseason takeaways about the 22-year-old who the Vikings hope will develop into their starter for the next decade. The arm is fine. We know. A lot of questions about the arm, like I said earlier. A lot of questions about the arm. I even had my questions, but I'm happy now. I'm cool now. Cool as a fan, man. Cool as a fan. You hear me? Crazy arm, powerful arm? Well, let's get it. Let's rock and roll. This dude finna be it. Go ball, McCarthy. Go ball, dog. Heavy here. McCarthy's arm strength was a topic of public discussion entering the draft. Heavy, dog. Even after he recovered a velocity of 61 miles per hour on a throw at the combine, he has also said that he once threw a ball 78 yards with the wind. But velocity and distance aren't full expressions of arm strength, nor do they necessarily correlate with long-term success. The only relevant question is whether McCarthy can make all of the throws on an NFL route tree. And over the past 2 off seasons, he has. He definitely has an arm, Justin Jefferson said. That's for sure. He can definitely zip it whenever he needs to. McCarthy's arm has looked especially lively on throws down the middle of the field. His one interception during the 2024 preseason and the two in competitive drills that reporters saw this spring were on throws toward the sideline that cornerbacks jumped. Those mistakes, however, look more like issues of timing and decision making that arm shrink. Yeah. You know, a lot of reporters want to put 100 on 10 when it comes to him throwing his picks. Like every quarterback throws picks, right? And if you're going to throw interceptions, make mistakes, that's what mini camp is for. Training camp is for, right? Duh. No shit, Sherlock. Good goofy bum. Everybody want to, even the cowherds, want to sit and make a big deal. Oh, McCarthy looks bad. He's throwing interceptions. Part of the game. Part of the process, goofies. He's going to make mistakes, dog. Period. Rather now than later, huh? Heavy. Focus on the great throws he's been making, bruh. Period. You know? Come on, man. And like the dude said, it's a lot, seemed like a lot to do with timing being off, huh? Miscommunication, et cetera, all part of the process, all part of the program and all season. Let's go. A lot of the public doubt just comes with the stigma of playing at Michigan and not throwing the ball a lot, McCarthy said. But at the same time, it could be my frame. They don't see a 6'5", 240-pound guy. So how can you throw at 61 miles an hour at the combine? But at the end of the day, it's going to show up in the people that know. Let's get it, baby. You hear me? Might care about no size, stature. You don't got to be 6'5" to have a powerful arm, dog. Let's get it, baby. Make them eat their words, McCarthy. Make them eat their words, homie. You hear me, dog? Believe that. You hear me? Heavy. He's learning to vary his throws. Jefferson noted last summer that McCarthy tended to throw every ball the same way, hard and straight, and contrasted that with how last year's starter, Sam Darnold, matched his velocity and trajectory to the situation. Darnold, of course, was in his 7th NFL training camp. I said earlier, he's going to have to learn how to calm that arm down. That's where KOC comes in. Over time, NFL quarterbacks must master at least 3 different levels of passes: line drives, those that rise and fall quickly for intermediate targets, and those with enough arc to hang in the air for longer developing routes. This spring, it was clear that McCarthy was experimenting with the levels, the same way a baseball pitcher might test and try to expand his repertoire during spring training. That might have been the case when McCarthy spotted receiver Jordan Addison open deep down the right seam. McCarthy's throw forced Addison to slow down to make the catch. Enough of a delay that a defensive back in a game situation might have had time to break up the play. It's only a second difference. Remember that. Speaking generally, McCarthy said he was experimenting with his throws every single day this spring and added, I believe I've grown the most on just a different level of trajectories of throw. At Michigan, I was kind of a one-speed pitch kind of guy. I had a couple deeper balls with the level 3 throws and stuff like that. But I'm just working on that 2-ball and different paces to the pitches and ball location. Like I said, it's all technique, bro. All development. Player-coach relationships, player-coach developments. You hear me? Heavy, homie. Beautiful throw. Boom. Run it back one more time. Beautiful though. Boom. Believe that, bro. Like I say, the talent is there. No cap. Beautiful, man. You know? And he's gonna continue to grow and get better with time. He has personal magnetism. He has personal magnetism. It is not a prerequisite for winning football, but it's certainly preferable for a team's quarterback to have the type of personality that naturally draws people into his orbit. At 22 years and 5 months, McCarthy is the second youngest non-rookie on the Vikings roster. But players from both sides of the ball have noted his energetic personality and ability to connect. Veteran safety Harrison Smith called McCarthy a guy that I enjoy being around a lot. During practices, McCarthy embraces a youthful goofiness, bouncing around from players to coaches between reps. Off the field, players find it easy to talk with him. As Smith put it, he's his own person and kind of speaks his mind. He has his own way of thinking about things. And there you have it, man. It takes more than just being a talented quarterback. Oh, any quarterback can be talented, baby. We've seen quarterbacks with talent who can't reach the team, aren't close to the guys. And those teams suck majority of the time, correct? You may get a rare occasion where the talent just carries them, but that's very rare, homie. But players want a guy they can talk to, look up to, leads by example, leads vocally, whatever the case may be, but stands on his business. That's very important, dog. That's a big step for McCarthy, already stepping into that leader role, right? As a rookie, 22-year-old young man, stepping into that leader role, that captain role, and might as well do it now. Yeah, he might as well do it, get used to it now, because he's going to have to do it on the field, in the field of play. Heavy, bro. Times get tough. Games going a certain way. He got to bring the team back in, regroup, take over, put the team on his shoulders, maybe. Stay mentally strong. You hear me, dog? Be able to connect to the players in tight spots, tough situations. That's what it's about, bro. So that gives him the advantage. Guys listening to him. Guys love being around him. He's a light, a bright light, homie. Cheers people up, right? Funny, makes people laugh, right? Guys want to be around him, dog. We can't take that for granted. Every quarterback doesn't have that ability, have those characteristics, correct? Right. Some players, dudes can't stand, man. We're going to see. You're going to see how it pans out, too. Watch this. Watch him ball. Watch him eat heavy, bro. Believe that. Jefferson noted that McCarthy understands that he is the starting quarterback at this moment and brings that with him to practice, knowing that he has to have that leadership. Though it will carry little correlation to the Vikings' success this season, McCarthy knew the names of the beat reporters who covert the team by the time OTAs begin. The thing I learned about myself, McCarthy said at the end of minicamp, is just the weight that I hold every single day and just showing up. Being the same guy every single day, bringing that attitude, effort, and energy. And that's big facts, homie. Go eat, bro. Go ball. Go ball. There are no threats to his job on the roster. The Vikings acquired Sam Howell in a draft day trade with the Seattle Seahawks. And Howell is usually the second quarterback to rotate into team drills, following McCarthy. That suggested Howell is the front runner for the number 2 job. But nothing he did this spring indicated he will push McCarthy to start. Coach Kevin O'Connell said Howell, who is entering his 4th NFL season, was learning some of the same lessons as McCarthy this spring. He's kind of like JJ, O'Connell said, where he's made some throws where you're like, man, probably shouldn't have made that throw. But I now know on this play I've got to be careful of this, and it's all growth. O'Connell saved some of his top praise for undrafted rookie Max Brosmer. I think Max is a smart guy as any young player that I have been around, O'Connell said, from a standpoint of the fact that he really hadn't been exposed to a lot of reps this spring. But his ownership of information is kind of right on par. And don't be surprised if Max Brosman beats out Brent Ripien. Yeah, Brent Ripien. His spot ain't safe. You hear me, dog? Even Sam Powell, spot ain't safe. Period, homie. And guess what? JJ McCarthy better not feel safe. I don't care even if he is. Even if they tell him he is the starter for sure. Forget that, bro. Kill that noise, homie. He need to keep that chip on his shoulder. Not just for this year, the remainder of his career, baby. Never get comfortable. Never get complacent, right? Hail to the no. Better ball. Because they just waiting. They just waiting for him to fold. O'Connell hasn't crowned a starter yet. What up? O'Connell isn't the first NFL coach to temper expectations about a highly anticipated young quarterback. But his comments on McCarthy this spring matched the eye test. He recently referred the 10,000-hour rule, popularized by author Malcolm Gladwell, as the rough practice time frame it takes to master a skill. I feel really good about where he's at fundamentally, O'Connell said, but it's still those 10,000 reps, those 10,000 hours, and we're not that far into the process. And I challenge him every day to embrace it. He can't be too hard on himself, but at the same time, what is your standard to get not where you are right now, but where you want to get to? And he's done a good job of attacking that every day. And hold on, what's up? Oh, this I don't care about no Vegas type ish, dog. And that's it right there, man. So shout out McCarthy, shout out KOC, baby. But the best news is he has a cannon forearm, and like I said, that's where you want to begin. As a quarterback in the NFL, that's probably the weapon you want to have on your side. Heavy, homie, you hear me? Period. You can't coach that, man. You either got an arm or you don't. Ooh, let's get it, bro. Once again, be ready for the offense to be explosive. Thought you seen something last year, huh? With Darnold at the helm. Man, wait till McCarthy at the reins on that thing, man. Hey, fire them comments up. Let me know how you feel about the video. You agree or disagree, huh? Feedback is much appreciated. Big SKOL here. SKOL Vikes win, lose, or draw forever. Believe that. Guess what? We run the North. Yeah.